They charge like a storm, tearing through farmland in just hours. With more than 30 million wild boars roaming the globe, farmers everywhere are struggling against this unstoppable force. In America, they're hunted as pests. In Europe, they're feared for the damage they cause. But in China, this fierce animal has taken on a very different role. Instead of being eliminated, wild boars are being bred in vast, semi-wild enclosures, carefully managed and transformed into one of the most expensive meats on the market, sold for up to 3 times the price of regular pork. This is the paradox of the wild boar. Destructive invader on one side of the world, luxury delicacy on the other. And today we're diving straight into this untamed industry, exploring how Chinese farmers raise, process, and turn wild boar into profit. Welcome to AgroWorks USA. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss our deep dives into the world of modern farming. Across the world, wild boars are more than just animals. They are a force of nature. Their global population now exceeds 30 million, with an astonishing 9 million roaming freely in the United States alone. Each year, they cause more than $2.5 billion in agricultural losses, from shredded cornfields to ruined rice paddies, making them one of the costliest invasive species on Earth. But while farmers in the West fight a never-ending war of traps and rifles, China has taken a different path. By converting this destructive population into a controlled resource, the country now produces an estimated 100,000 tons of wild boar meat annually. Though this volume represents less than 1% of China's overall pork supply, the difference lies in value. Wild boar meat can fetch 2 to 3 times the price of regular pork, making it a premium niche product. Demand is especially strong among China's rising middle class and in export markets such as Japan and South Korea, where consumers are eager for rare, game-flavored delicacies. Instead of confining wild boars inside crowded barns or concrete pens, many Chinese farmers have embraced a semi-wild model. Imagine vast forested enclosures stretching over thousands of square meters, where the animals roam freely throughout the day, rooting in the soil, wallowing in mud, and foraging much like their ancestors did thousands of years ago. By nightfall, they often return on their own to simple fenced shelters, a rhythm that blends natural instinct with human oversight. To make this approach more manageable, farmers rely on hybrids, crosses between wild boars and domestic pigs. These animals preserve the muscular build, coarse coats, and strong flavor of wild meat, while being calmer and less destructive than their fully wild counterparts. Care is equally distinctive. On some farms, herbal additives such as ginseng or astragalus are infused into drinking water, believed to strengthen immunity and reduce stress without resorting to heavy antibiotic use. Every piglet is fitted with an ear tag for traceability, growth monitoring, and health management. The outcome is a herd that thrives under near-natural conditions while yielding meat with a texture and taste far superior to conventional pork. If you were a farmer, would you dare to try raising wild boars in a semi-wild model? Would you like to see high-tech tools like cameras and sensors used on these farms? Type 1 if you agree, or share your opinion in the comments. And if you enjoy this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to keep exploring the fascinating world of agriculture with AgroWorks USA. Raising wild boars is never as simple as raising domestic pigs. Unlike sows on intensive farms that can reliably produce large litters, wild boars are far less predictable. On average, a sow gives birth to 5 to 8 piglets per litter, fewer than domestic breeds, but each one is more resilient, better adapted to outdoor life, and prized for its future meat quality. At birth, these piglets look nothing like pigs. Instead, their backs are striped brown, yellow, and black, resembling tiny tiger cubs. This camouflage helps them disappear into leaves and grass, a survival trait carried straight from the wild. After 3 to 4 months, the stripes fade, their coats darken, and they begin to resemble their parents. Farmers step in to manage this delicate stage with precision. Ear tags are applied early for tracking, health checks, and monitoring growth rates. Male piglets are often castrated within weeks, both for safety, since intact males can become dangerously aggressive, and for meat quality, producing leaner, more tender cuts. By balancing natural instincts with selective intervention, Chinese farmers ensure that each new generation of piglets contributes to a sustainable and premium quality herd. A wild boar's appetite is as powerful as its strength. On average, each adult consumes nearly 5 kilograms of food every day, the equivalent of 50 apples. Unlike the monotonous rations of commercial pig farms, their diet in semi-wild enclosures is deliberately diverse. Farmers provide grains, sweet potatoes, fresh vegetables, and seasonal fruits, while the boars themselves root through soil for worms, roots, and fallen nuts. This natural foraging not only enriches their nutrition, but also keeps the forest floor healthy by loosening soil and stimulating seed germination. Feeding is often scheduled in the evenings, aligning with the animal's natural nocturnal behavior. In some farms, fermented mixtures of corn and other grains are prepared, releasing a strong aroma that encourages the herd to feed together and maintain consistent growth. Herbal supplements such as ginseng or astragalus are occasionally added to boost immunity and reduce stress without relying on heavy antibiotics. After 10 to 12 months of growth, most boars reach a market weight of 60 to 90 kilograms, only a third the size of a fully wild adult, but perfectly suited for processing into premium, game-flavored meat. Do you think feeding boars in the evening helps them grow faster? Type yes if you agree, or share your thoughts with me in the comments below. When wild boars reach market weight, the process moves to slaughterhouses designed to handle their strength and unique physiology. The first step is stunning, usually with controlled electric or CO2 methods, to ensure the animal is rendered unconscious quickly and humanely. Once stunned, the boar is bled, a step that preserves both meat quality and food safety. Unlike domestic pigs, wild boars have a much thicker hide and coarser hair, requiring extra preparation. Carcasses are briefly dipped into boiling water to loosen the bristles, followed by intensive scraping with knives or specialized tools. Workers carefully clean every inch of the hide, a labor-intensive task that demands both strength and skill. After cleaning, the carcass is split and inspected. Meat quality is judged by color, firmness, and marbling. Prime cuts, like the shoulders and hind legs, are reserved for roasting or premium dishes, while other portions are processed into stir-fries, stews, or smoked products. The end result is meat with a darker color, leaner texture, and stronger flavor than standard pork, prized by chefs and consumers alike. What begins as a destructive pest in the wild is transformed into a carefully prepared delicacy, ready for the table. Once processed, wild boar meat enters kitchens where tradition and innovation meet. In rural China, one of the most celebrated dishes is the whole roasted boar. The carcass is marinated in herbs and spices, then slowly turned over open flames for hours until the skin crisps and the meat develops a smoky, game-rich flavor. These feasts are often the centerpiece of village festivals or family celebrations. In everyday cooking, the meat is cut into smaller portions. Lean cuts are stir-fried with peppers and garlic, a common home-style dish. Tougher cuts are stewed for hours with soy sauce and spices, creating a rich broth. Smoking is another popular method, infusing the meat with deep, savory notes that enhance its wild character. Even the fat, though less abundant than in domestic pigs, is rendered and valued for cooking oil or flavoring. Modern processing plants expand this tradition by producing vacuum-packed roasts, pre-marinated slices, and smoked sausages aimed at urban supermarkets. These ready-to-cook products make wild boar accessible to middle-class consumers who want the taste of the wild without the challenge of preparation. From rustic festivals to upscale restaurants, wild boar has become a versatile premium ingredient. Which dish would you want to try first? Whole roasted boar, smoked boar, or stir-fried boar? Share your choice in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow AgriWorks USA for more stories about sustainable farming. Wild boar farming remains small in scale, about 100,000 tons a year in China compared to more than 50 million tons of regular pork. But the difference lies in value. Meat from semi-wild farms sells for 2 to 3 times the price of conventional pork, turning it into a profitable niche for farmers who can manage longer growth cycles and higher costs. Rising demand from Japan, South Korea, and Southeast Asia adds further incentive, as consumers seek premium game flavors that stand apart from commodity pork. Beyond economics, sustainability plays a critical role. Semi-wild systems allow animals to forage, wallow, and roam, reducing stress and cutting antibiotic use. Their rooting behavior even helps aerate soil and encourage forest regeneration. Still, challenges remain. African swine fever risks, expensive fencing, and lower productivity compared to domestic pigs. Balancing profitability with animal welfare and ecological stability will determine the future of this unusual industry. Wild boars embody one of agriculture's greatest contradictions. Across the world, they are feared as invasive pests, tearing through fields, costing farmers billions, and multiplying beyond control. Yet in China, the same animal is carefully managed in semi-wild farms and turned into a premium delicacy, valued at up to 3 times the price of pork. This shift reveals both opportunity and responsibility. By transforming chaos into commerce, farmers prove that even the most destructive species can be reimagined as a resource. But it leaves us with a pressing question: should wild boars be eradicated, farmed, or both? Here at AgriWorks USA, we explore these paradoxes. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to join us for more farming stories.